listening to Jai Long, and this is Make Your Break. Whether you're a big-hearted creative or an aspiring entrepreneur, let's take action on your dreams, reconnecting you with your why and giving you the how. I'm here to dish out actionable mindset tips and fun industry secrets to help you blow up your biz. From eye-opening reality checks to motivational gold, no two episodes are ever the same. So tune in weekly, skip the FOMO, and let's dive into the deep together. You probably have heard me talk about launching before. So what is launching? Talking about launching a product, launching a service, launching a business, launching a course, launching a workshop, launching a book. There's so many things that we can launch out into the world, and it is a great marketing strategy and a great way to get hype around your business. So this month I'm talking about marketing, and I want to dive in today and talk about launching. So launching different products, launching your website, launching a new service, whatever it may be, today's episode is really going to help you. Now, I do want you to get out a pen and paper because there's going to be a lot that we cover. And let me tell you, right now, I am a multi-seven-figure business owner. I have shot hundreds of weddings. I have launched so many businesses. And with all of my success, I have always used launch marketing. I've used it over and over and over, and I dare say I've probably launched more products and more things than anyone else that I know, and it's a proven strategy that I help other people follow along in my footsteps and doing the exact same thing. So this is valuable information, and I want you to get out a pen and paper and take it serious. So before we get into today's episode, don't forget, I do have a marketing workshop coming up. It's called Marketing with Purpose. And you can head over to jailong.co/marketing. It's going to be a 3-day workshop, and it's only 90 minutes per day commitment. And I want you to commit because trust me when I say, a lot of people say, work hard, or some people say work smart. But I think we've been given the wrong advice. We need the right strategies. It's not about working smart or hard. It's about following strategies that have worked before for other people, especially in your industry, and creating a marketing strategy where we don't get burnt out and we can have more predictable results. So in 2022, there's so many different trends. I can see marketing changing so much, and I want you to be in the loop. I want you to be in the inner circle so you dive on these trends before everybody else, before they get diluted, and so you can make the biggest waves and impact in your business. So if you're interested, it's only $9, goes over 2 days. You just head over to jailong.co/marketing. Okay, today we are talking about launching. And the first thing that I want you to write down is this. There's 4 stages to launching. So I call it the pre-launch, then I call it the pre-launch, the launch, and the post-launch. So the pre-launch is where we map out our content, our ideas, we set our goals, and we set dates, and we get ready for the actual launch. Now, the pre-launch to me is the most important stage of the launch. So this is before you actually launch something, but this is all about getting people involved. This is where you advertise and market the most, and you get your product known or your service known or your website known to the world, or your rebrand known, whatever you're doing, to the world before it actually happens. So this is the hype stage. Now, the launch itself is where the magic happens. That's where you're inviting people into an event that you have, whether it's online, it's offline, whether it's just a day, whether it's, the actual event comes online on this day, whatever it is. This is when someone is going to actually sign up to your services. They're going to book your new offer. They're going to go and check out your new website. They're going to use your new products, like whatever it is. So that's the actual launch. Now, post-launch, I want you to remember this. If you don't track, you won't grow. So you can't grow what you don't track, okay? I want to say that again. You can't grow what you don't track. Now, this goes through all of your business. So right now, if you're not tracking the growth of your business, how much you're actually growing, how much your revenue has grown by percentage from last year to this year, or maybe even the last 3 years, or how much you've been increasing your prices, or how often you actually book people, what your conversion rate is, all these things. If you start tracking these things, you're going to be able to actually grow these things. So with marketing is insanely important to track results, because then you know where to put your marketing budget and effort to get the biggest impact. Okay. So you can't grow what you don't track. Now, I just want you to remember that. So again, just to go over those, pre-launch, we're mapping out content, we're brainstorming our ideas, we're setting goals, and we're setting dates, we're getting ready for our big launch ahead. And then we have the pre-launch, number 2. Getting people involved, advertising, sharing it with our community, sharing on social media, sharing on our mailing list, on YouTube, on a podcast, on wherever it is, right? Number 3, we're going over the actual launch event. So this is like, if you're going to launch a rocket, this is like the 3, 2, 1 launch. And then post-launch is all about tracking, so we can do it better next time. And we can see what we've done right and what we've done wrong and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so pre-launch. So to get started on a launch, to have a super successful launch, we need to spend some time brainstorming. Insanely important to actually spend a bit of time, whether it's just you or it's you and your partner or it's you and a team, it's you and your employees or your best friend, whoever it is, but brainstorming out a bit of a plan. Now, there's many things you need to do here. Now, one really important thing is to have clarity throughout the whole launch, because there's so many busy stages of a launch. Now, I don't want you, so my brother was actually just saying, I was in Byron Bay, and my brother was saying, the term, if you just say, I want to send it, it means you don't know what you're doing and you're just throwing yourself into something. So he's right into sport, and that was an analogy that he was using. If you just sending it means you don't know what you're doing and you're just going for it. So we don't want to just send it. We want to actually have a strategy in place and have our plan in place, like a bulletproof plan, right? So one of the first things I want you to do, and if you've never done this before, is I want you to map out a content strategy, content calendar. So the content calendar is going to be what you're actually going to be producing and on what platform, at what time, and what content to get people thinking about your product or service or whatever it is that you're launching, and making sure that it's consistent and it's frequent. You're going to be showing up consistently and frequently over the period of the whole launch with the same message. You don't want to be launching 2 things at once, always just one thing, and making it very, very easy for people to understand what it is that you're advertising. Now, one of the most important things around that is actually setting dates. So what date are you going to launch your new product? So let's just say you're launching a new service, or maybe you're launching a new website. And for argument's sake, let's just say the 1st of February is when that's going to happen. And that's going to be my launch date. So that's when the official launch starts. Now, I would say before that, I would want at least a 2-week lead up to the pre-launch. So if I can't do a 2-week pre-launch leading up to my launch date, then it's just too soon. I need to make sure that I've got 2 weeks worth of advertising, talking about it, getting on Insta stories, sharing it with the world, advertising, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, I need at least 2 weeks to lead up to that, to get my content out there, to get it onto Insta stories, to create some TikTok reels, like whatever it is. At least 2 weeks. Okay, so pre-launch right now, we're just mapping out our content. We got those dates. Next thing is I want you to think about what goals you have. Now, what goals do you have right now for your actual launch? What metric are you trying to actually track? Are you trying to get page views and website views on your website? Are you trying to book a new service out? Are you trying to sell a product? Maybe you got a book and you're trying to sell a book. Are you trying to get people to sign up to your workshop? Like, what is it that you're actually trying to track? Because a lot of the times we track the wrong thing and we forget. For instance, we might get disappointed that no one is booking our services, but really our metric that we were trying to track was website views. So because of that reason, our call to action is go check out our website, go look at the blog, go and tell me how beautiful it is. And it's not actually go and book my services. So you can't be disappointed if you're, and you just got to keep making sure that you're tracking the right metric. So set those goals, write them down. You know me, I'm always writing down my goals, but write down those goals, because at the end of it all, you're going to track and you're going to see how well that you're doing. So insanely important. So we're mapping out our content, we're setting our goals, we got our date set. Now I want you to start brainstorming some ideas. Now, the more creative that you are with ideas, the more you're going to get the good word out to the right people. It's not about spending lots of money on marketing. Yes, that can definitely help, but it really is about being creative when it comes to marketing. The more that you put your creative flair into something, the better it's going to turn out. Now, please don't make those mistakes where people go out and they'll just pay a marketing agency and just leaving it to them and thinking everything's going to be great. More often than not, if you're not putting in the actual work, you're probably not going to get the results that you're actually going for. So I want you to brainstorm ideas. Who can you work with? Where can you work? Where's this launch going to be? Is it going to be in person? Is it going to be online? Is it going to be on Zoom? Is it going to be, a big workshop? Like, what is it going to be? So brainstorm all the different marketing things you can do as well. You're going to be running Pinterest ads, Facebook ads. You're going to have Google ads. You're going to do blog posts. Are you going to put it on TikTok? Are you going to run TikTok ads? Are you going to show up live? Maybe showing up live on YouTube, maybe showing up live on Facebook, maybe showing up live on TikTok or Instagram, like wherever it is. Like, I want you to write these things down and just see. You don't have to do all of it. Of course, you don't have to do all of it, but put all the options on a piece of paper and just see what's going to work with you. These are insanely important because it's going to give you more confidence when you're going into the launch itself, because you know the strategy that you're going for, you know your content calendar, you know what your metrics are, all these things, and it's going to set you up for success. Now, one quick little mindset tip for you right now. This stuff's really important because we want to build your confidence. One mistake I see a lot of people make when they launch something is they have such little confidence about themselves and their business and what they're doing is they don't actually tell the world what they're going to do. So they'll say something like, oh, I just released a new website. You should go check it out. And it's like, it's uneventful, isn't it? Like, that doesn't sound like something I want to click on, because I'm like, well, if they don't really care about their website, no, I don't care. So you need to show people that you actually care, that you're willing to show up and just put yourself out there, care about what you're doing, because if you care, other people care. If you show your passion, other people will feed off that passion and they want to go up and show up. They want to look at your website. They want to help you. They want to do a survey for you. They want to buy your products. They want to be your clients, like whatever it is. But if you don't even care enough to show up like that, then no one else, you can't expect anyone else to either. So that's some hard love, but that's why this stuff is really important. Now, build that confidence. I want you to be very confident during a launch, because you're not annoying anybody. You're not posting too much. You need to keep showing up and spreading that good word, because you've been working so hard to get to where you are right now. Your services, your product, your website deserves to see the light of day. It deserves to have big traffic. Your event deserves to be a huge success, right? You've put in the work. Now it's time to make sure that people show up. How do you make that happen? You show up. You need to show up. Show up for your business. Show up for your ideas. Show up in your marketing. Show up with confidence. Get people excited. Show that passion, and people will flock to your services. Trust me when I say that. I do it all the time, and you'll see when I'm in that pre-launch phase. Now, just to give you an example of pre-launch phase, I know some of you guys follow me on Instagram or even listening to this podcast and stuff, and you usually know what I'm talking about. So I'm like pre-launching, my 6-figure business map, or I'm pre-launching the summit. Like, tickets are not on sale yet, but they're coming on sale. Or I'm pre-launching marketing with purpose. That's coming up. I talked about that before I actually put tickets on sale. So I pre-launched it, and now it's pre-launching right now. You can go over and buy tickets to that thing. But if you jumped on my social media, you'll probably see that I'm sharing, I'm talking about it. If you get on my podcast, I'm talking about it. If I'm on YouTube, I'm talking about it. If you're reading my emails, I'm talking about it. And so you can start seeing that thing where right now I'm not talking about the 6-figure business map. I'm not talking about the summit. I'm not talking about the journals that I sell. I'm not talking about all these other things, because that would just confuse people, right? You need to be very tack sharp, very clear on exactly what it is that you're trying to launch at a given time, so you don't confuse your clients and your audience. So right now, if you're doing a pre-launch and I get on your Instagram and I'll get on your stories and there's nothing to do with the product that you're launching, with the service that you're launching, then you're just not doing enough. Remember, you're not annoying people, because people can't remember anything on social media past the last couple of hours. So you need to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. People need to see it at least 7 times. That is actually old school metrics. Right now, apparently it's around 150 times they need to know about your service before they're even ready to book. So you need to keep showing up, keep sharing, using that enthusiasm, using that energy, and especially in pre-launch, because you have energy then. When you get to the launch, sometimes we can start fizzling out and it can be really hard, especially if it's a big launch and let's say it's like an in-person event and people show up and you've got lots of things to organize and stuff like that, it can be really, really, really hard to show up with energy over and over and over. So pre-launch, make sure you use up that energy and you show up with enthusiasm. I know I'm sort of really driving home this point, but it's insanely important. And if you learn anything from me, don't learn what I'm teaching. Like, look what I do. And you can hear me all the time pre-launching something, sharing what I'm working on and getting it out to the world. You need to be doing the same thing and do it with conviction, with passion, with energy, and people will sign up to whatever it is that you are launching. Okay, so now you've got your ideas, you've set your goals, you've done all that kind of stuff, and now you're starting to roll out all your content. Now, with a pre-launch, one thing that has worked really well for me, and this is something that I want you to do, is before you actually launch and say that this is on sale or I've got a new website or I'm doing a rebrand, I want you to take this time to involve your community. This is insanely important, and I'm only going to say this a couple of times, and I want you to write this down. I want you to involve your community, your clients, your friends, your family, and I want you to get them to be a part of the launch. Now, how does that happen? For instance, if you're going to launch a new brand, I want you to put out a survey to people and say, hey, I'm doing a new brand and I would love for you guys to help me. What colors should I do? Help me choose some fonts. What textures do I need? What images should I share? So that way, when you launch it, people are like, oh man, she went with that color. I chose that color. I helped choose that color. And they're a part of the thing, right? So for me, like when I'm launching, for instance, marketing with purpose, the first thing that I do is I get into the Facebook groups and I say, hey guys, what are you struggling with marketing with 2020 in 2022? What do you struggle with? And I allow people to give me feedback. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to add those things into the workshop that I'm doing so I can help you, because now I know what it is that you need. And now before the product is even out into the world, people are already thinking about it and they're already involved. Will they buy tickets? Absolutely. Why? Because I've created something that they've been a part of, right? So I want you to think about that. One practical way that you can make this happen is get on Instagram. On stories these days, you can be very interactive. You can do polls. You can make things fun. You can do questions. You can do things like which one is the right answer, which one is the wrong answer. You can share what other people have been saying as well, and you can get people to say yes and no, and you can get people to swipe up and swipe down, like whatever it is. But involve everybody, right? Involve everybody. Get everyone interactive with your product, with your service, and talk about it. Don't keep it a secret. The next huge mistake that people make when they're launching something is they keep everything a secret because of a few different scarcity problems. One is like they think someone else is going to copy him, or it's not perfect yet, or it's not ready yet. Like all these things, man, you should be telling your clients way before it's ready. Way before it's ready. If you're building a website, you should have sneak peeks out already. You should have some interactive things like, should I go with this layout or this layout? Should I go with this color or this color? Should I go with this copy or this copy? Should I go with these images or that image? Help me, guys. I'm launching this website in a couple of weeks. I need your help. So the more that you involve people like this, the more it's going to be a huge success. And if you can do it on a bigger scale, depending on how big your audience is, the more successful your launch is going to be. And notice that we're doing all this before we even tell people what we're doing, before we even advertise. Now, the next step in the pre-launch is we want to start advertising, and we want to start telling people. We go like, guys, remember I was talking about that website? It's actually coming out on the 1st of February. So I want you to get ready for it. There's a countdown timer. I'm doing a giveaway. I've got a blog post out now. I've got some really cool resources coming up. I'm going to do a live video coming up and talk about the website and why I've created it. Just talking about website as an example here, but things that you can think about right there around that one launch. So things that you can do in the pre-launch, blog posts, giveaways. You can go live on tons of different platforms. You can run ads on so many different platforms. But one really, really powerful marketing tool that you can use is you can actually work with friends and other people in your industry. So see who you can collaborate with, right? if you're launching a website, why not have a launch with some of your friends? Let's just say you're a wedding photographer and you're launching a new website. Maybe you could do a big launch where you'd involve some of the other wedding vendors. Maybe you could do it at a wedding venue, and you could have a bar tab, and you could have other wedding vendors come there and help you out and get them to spread the good word, especially on their Instagram and all that kind of stuff. You're going to get so much further because now you're leveraging everybody's reach and you're involving the whole community. It makes it like a fun event. So I want you to think about, how can you collaborate with someone else to get your reach even further? This one is a huge tip. Write it down in your phone, write it down in your notes, write it down with a pen and paper, wherever it is, but write it down, because if you're going to launch something, you might as well do it with other people and make it fun. Okay, now that we've done the pre-launch, we've led up to this one date. Remember, just in theory, it's 1st of February for our launch date. And so there's different ways that you can launch something. So I've done almost every single way under the sun. I've held big live events. I've held in-person events. I have done so many different ways, and I want you to experiment with different ways as well. So don't forget, like I said before, show it with confidence. So when I've launched different things before, you can do a soft launch if you wanted to, but like I like to go out for, with a hard launch and get people really excited. So we were going to do a launch for my clothing brand No Skin, and what I want to do is get like a DJ in, get some beers in, get like an event happening and make it a big thing and create things we can give away and run some advertising to it and make it like a big night of it, right? So it's like you're going out with a bang and you're going like, guys, we're open for business, we're here, this is our brand, this is what we're all about, and then people can try on our stuff and it becomes an interactive thing. Now, I've done big launches before where I've launched like a website or a new brand and I've had big countdown timers going to it. I've had new blog posts on there. I have had where I've collaborated with other people in my industry. I've done big giveaways. I've had a live video on my website. So when it went live, I was on there talking to everybody and showing them all the new features. And we had a DJ going through live as well. And we had a catering company, and underneath the live video, we had all different cocktails that they could make, and just lots of little fun things that you can do. You can go live on Instagram as well, and then you could show people through the website that way. So you're going on the platform and meeting them where they're at. But again, just showing up passionately and showing up, allowing people to get excited about the product that you just launched. So even if you just launched a new brand or a new website or something, like, hey, you need to get excited about your business, right? Like we're running this massive business and it's scary and it's hard, and we need to celebrate those wins. I know Elon Musk once said, and I love this, he says, a lot of us, we have baby showers, but really we should also have business showers. So when someone first gives birth to a new business, why not have a big shower for that, big celebration? And I think, with launching, it's just the same thing. Now, one thing is, like, all the big companies do big launches like this. You see Apple, right? People line up and they go to this big event and they're launching just the new iPhone with, in a little bit slightly better camera, and everybody loses their minds. So I do see this all the time, and it works really well. Elon Musk does the same thing when he launches, new products. What's he excited about for the new year? Now, one bonus tip I want to give you right now: don't forget, you can revamp some of the products that you have, some of the services that you have right now, and get people excited. I think one thing that people do, which can be wrong, and I'd love to sort of spell this out, I think this is going to shift your mindset a little bit. For example, on this one, if you went and bought your favorite peanut butter from the supermarket, and then one day it would just happen to be, a couple of dollars more expensive, you probably would be disappointed and annoyed, right? And a lot of the times we do this with our wedding photography, with our services, with our products, with the things that we sell, is we just increase the prices and then we just annoy everybody. Now, think about this. Peanut butter does go up all the time. Yes, it does. But what do? They repackage it, they make it a different size, and then they launch it as a new product, and then it just happens to be a different price. But you don't compare it with the last product because now it's a new product. Maybe it's a slightly smaller jar or slightly bigger jar, and it's an extra couple of dollars or something, but it's something different, right? Now think about this. If, for example, to all my wedding photographer friends that listen to this, if you're a wedding photographer and you just start increasing your prices, that's not very eventful. And if you just tell people, hey, my price has just increased, book me, that's not very good. But what you could do is repackage, repurpose, and create a new package. And it happens to be a lot more expensive, but includes a whole lot of different things. So now you have increased your prices, but you did it in a different way, and you got people excited about that increase because they were excited and they're waiting for that offer that you just launched. So there's always something to launch. There's always something good to launch. Something that I want you to think about. Like, what can you launch right now? How can you relaunch your packages? How could you create something, a different offer, and get people excited about it? Because chances are, whatever packages and services that you have right now, you never made a big deal about it. People don't even know what they are. You keep them a secret, in fact. You wait for people to email you, and then you secretly send them your price guide, and you hope that no one else looks at the price guide so they don't copy you. You know, all these things. And it's such a scarcity way of thinking. Like, why not go large, overpromise, share with the world, tell people about these services, get passionate, get enthusiastic, and launch a new product, right? Get them excited about it. I wouldn't see any drawbacks from doing that. And so right now, if you want to increase your prices, hey, you don't have to increase your prices. Just add another product, add another service, add another package, could price it differently, and it happens to be a little bit higher than the stuff that you had before, right? You can even take things away and increase prices. It doesn't matter, because once you change up the service or the product or the package, people can't compare it with your last stuff because it's completely different. It's a new offer. One thing that people love is new offers. People don't love is improvement offers. People don't really love it when it's slightly better service, or I gave you a little bit more in the package, but people love new offers. You know, for example, you could be like, hey, I've got this new offer, I've got this new package. No one in this industry is doing this. This is incredible. This is something that you're going to want. It's slightly more expensive, yes, but is it more desirable? Absolutely. Are you going to get tons more value? Yes, you are going to get so much value. Sign up to the wait list. Countdown time is on my website, and we're going to do a launch for this new package. You're going to want it. It's only limited to 10 people this year. Does that make sense? I've just added so much desirability, scarcity, like tons of things on that. And then I've got a countdown timer. I'm getting people enthusiastic and excited about a service that I'm dropping to them. Okay. So launching, right? Launching I usually do for it's not a one-day thing. I usually do it for at least 1 week. So what launching means is website's now open. The brand's now out there. The products now out there, whatever it is. And then I'll run a week where this is now where I'll jump on lives with other people and I'll talk about my product, my service. I will get on and release more blog posts. I'll be on Instagram and Insta stories every single day during the launch, let people know. If I have an offer where I'm selling it slightly cheaper, or I have a big discount for the launch week, that's going to be on that launch week. So I'll keep telling people about it. I'll have a countdown timer for it. Whatever it is for you, but launch for at least 1 week so you can get people excited. 2 weeks is also a very good time to launch, and personally, I would not launch more than 2 weeks. I find that people get over it. It tends to fizzle out. And to be honest, in my experience, 1 week is exactly the perfect amount of time for any launch. So get in there and make sure on that week that you've already scheduled in some posts. You've already got a plan of all the ideas that you're going to do, so you don't fall flat and there's nothing that you can do there because you're quickly, you're working so hard to sell the new offer and sell new products and get people to your website, and you don't have enough time for advertising. So super, super important. Now, last thing is post-launch. This is where I want you to look back at your goals, and I want you to write down, what did you actually hit? How close did you get to your unrealistic goals? And what could you do next time? How happy are you? Did you fall short, or did you exceed your expectations? These are really important because, again, what I said before, is you can't grow what you don't track. So tracking it, right? You can, if you're doing a post-launch and you ran some Facebook ads, I would go through now and see how many people actually bought from the ads? How many people do I think came from Facebook? How many people that came from the lives that I did? How many views did I have on the blog posts that I did? So I'd be looking at all those different things to make sure that next time, maybe I'll try a different channel. Maybe next time I'll do YouTube ads, or I'll do Pinterest ads, or I'll be on Google more, like whatever it is. Maybe I'll be collaborating with more people. See who came from the people that you collaborated with. Make sure you write it all out. Make sure you look at this stuff. And I know you guys are creative entrepreneurs and you're thinking, Jai, I don't really want to do the businessy stuff. Hey, that's okay. Maybe you can get someone else to track it for you. But important to get out a Google Doc or a spreadsheet or even a piece of paper or in your notes, wherever it is, and actually track these things. Insanely important. So I'm going to leave it there. This is just one little piece of marketing that I wanted to bring to you to get you hyped about your product. Insanely important. If you've got any questions, just head over to my Instagram, which is @jailong.co. And again, I'm holding this huge, big marketing workshop coming up, Marketing with Purpose. You can find out more at jailong.co/marketing. I'm going to talk a lot more about marketing, about launching, and about all the things that you need with marketing your business sustainably in 2022 without all that burnout, which I'm really excited about. I also just wanted to say a huge thank you for listening to the podcast and watching my YouTube channel in 2022. Seriously appreciate you guys. 2021 was huge for us, and it helps me bring so much more value to you. And I honestly appreciate all the good reviews that I get. I read every single one of them, and I love seeing everyone share my channels with the world. So I appreciate you, and I will see you next week.